Hi, I'm Chris with my buddy Murray here. We're coasting a brand, hold on. Let's step right in to the station. Oh, Jesus Christ. Let's step right in the show. And I'm up to 15 already. I took economics.
Let's step right into the show. In progress with Joe Silva, our co-host, and our special guest, John from Gurkha. That's all.
Okay. One more time. Motherfucker. Here we go.
Really cannot wait to hear about the cigars that you brought here today, some of your thoughts about the industry and cigars themselves. Really, really excited to hear about it.
I just want to have a good time.
That's what we're here for.
Smoke, drink, have a good time, right?
That's it.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's what the show is about, and that's what we're here to do today. So welcome again to the inaugural show. We hope you enjoyed as much as we're going to enjoy sitting here, having this fine Gurkha cigar, and a little bit of sipping sauce here that will help to go along with it. So thank you so much for being here today. All right, guys, we have a wonderful show. We already started with the cigars here, and I'm going to tell you, this thing right from the jump is pretty fantastic. You guys agree?
Beautiful. Excellent.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Very smooth.
So this is one of our newest cigars. It's called the Colección Especial. All right. This is a Sumatra binder, hybrid Connecticut wrapper, Habano, Ligero, and Connecticut broadleaf filler. So that's where you're getting that spice from, that broadleaf and that Ligero. That's going to give it that little, not like you lick the 9-volt, you get that zing on the end of the tongue, you know. So, you know,
we don't want that.
Those cigars,
that's right.
You know, I get that pepper, you know, that black pepper.
Yes. Yeah.
I think it's more of a little bit like a subtle white pepper almost. You know, you get a little bit on the tongue, but you're also getting it a little bit, you know, all around and you know, all around the palate.
We'll agree. It's almost deceptive when you start off with this. You think you're going to get that full blast of pepper, right? It starts to, but it never really fully gets there.
Right, on that first light.
Yes, yeah.
And then people look at it and they think, oh, this is going to be really mild.
Right.
But to me, if there's a fence between mild and medium, I think it's kind of leaning to
Medium.
the medium a
Yeah,
little
the way
bit.
I'm getting it.
Yeah.
In the back of my tongue, on the sides, I'm feeling that peppery, in a way, a little sweetness in there too.
Yeah.
A little bit of the spice.
Agreed.
But it's not covered. It's only the back. I'm getting it on the back of my tongue, which is very pleasant. Very nice. Smooth draw. The wrap is incredible. And I love the way they designed the gold band around it. Very classy. Very nice.
So this cigar is only available in, right now, about 225 shops in the country.
Wow. Okay.
So it's limited production, only comes in 3 sizes. We're smoking the Lonsdale. And the reason I chose the Lonsdale is because I love a Lonsdale.
Right. And now for viewers who may not know what a Lonsdale is, what does that mean?
So that's a size. Normally, you're right around that 6-inch 48 ring gauge.
Ring gauge, yeah.
Okay. So
And ring
that's a
gauge, again,
Lonsdale.
the circular size of ring here, right?
Correct. So this comes in 3 sizes: Robusto, Toro, and Lonsdale.
Okay.
Okay. So I particularly like a smaller ring gauge. Again, it's a subjective. Let's
Like
face
Lancero?
it. I love Lanceros.
Yes.
You know, the problem with Lanceros is a Lancero has to be perfectly rolled. Any other cigar, 92, 93%, what we call perfection.
Right.
Lancero has to be 99, 100% perfectly rolled. Otherwise, it won't draw. Because you don't have as many fillers, you know, because of the ring gauge, right?
Right.
So a Lancero is a little bit more difficult to make in that process. Plus, the problem with Lanceros is everyone who smokes Lancero loves them.
Right.
The problem is they don't sell. They don't sell.
It's true. I mean, you don't see them, and you could tell that's evident by the fact they don't really stock them that much.
Right, because
in the stores.
And listen, it's a perception.
Right.
You walk into a shop, right, and you see a Lancero for $9 and you see a Toro for $10. What are you going to go with?
You're going to hit the Toro.
You're going to go to Toro.
Because they're going to look at the Lancero.
Well, because they think the value, right?
It's going to be a faster smoke.
I'm getting more bang for the buck.
Right.
I'm going to go the Toro size.
Or the Gordo, right?
Or the Gordo,
which is a 60 ring. That's a nice big one.
Exactly. So, you know, right now in our industry, the top 3 selling sizes are Toro's number 1, Gordo's number 2, and Robusto's number 3. So a lot of companies, when we make new cigars, what do we come out with? Those 3 sizes, because we know they're going to sell. There's a lot of great Lanceros out there, but it's more of that boutique-esque, like, person out there.
Right.
A lot of shops that I was in the shop recently, and the guy must have had 60 different Lanceros. I was like in Lancero heaven. I was like, dude, awesome. Yeah, man, I'll smoke. You know what? I'll smoke everything on this side of of the shelf today.
Yeah, you don't see that often, that's for sure.
No, but he loves Lancero.
Right.
So he is, kind of inundating his customers with those and trying to teach them how to appreciate the flavor of a Lancero.
Right.
Good point.
Because it,
Good point.
Right.
What you
because
just made.
remember, ring gauge, okay? Everything comes down to combustion rate. Okay. So when someone says, well, a smaller ring gauge isn't gonna be as flavorful. No, combustion rate is what gives it. All right. So a 60 ring gauge or a 70 ring gauge, for example.
I don't even know if I've ever seen a 70.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Pardon the pun. They're big in the industry now.
Right.
But a 70 ring gauge, in essence, it does smoke cooler. The cooler to smoke, the easier to smoke. The more open and clean it is, But then it comes out. A 70, it has a lot of filler, but yes, it has more binder, right? It has more wrapper. It has to. It's ratio, right?
Makes
What
sense.
I always say, math doesn't lie.
Right.
This is the formula. This is how we make it. That's the flavor you're going to get. Now, most blenders, all right, a master blender blends on a small ring gauge. Okay? So when you're smoking a Corona, that is like the truest, is that even a word?
It is today, folks. It is today.
I claim it.
That's right.
I need a flag.
I believe it is. Yeah,
right here.
That's right.
I claim it in the name of Mars. It is, that is what the blender's going for, that flavor. Now, when you go up, Robusto, Toro, Gordo, things change a little bit, but it's not like so overly, but listen, it's
They
subjective.
try to get to that balance out part where it's balanced.
And again, it's
flavoring,
subjective.
draw,
You know,
mix.
And that's
Yeah.
where you have to get. I mean, having
Yeah.
a company like Gurkha, obviously having years. When was Gurkha? When did they-
So we are about to enter our 35th
wow.
anniversary.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's huge. Having experts
Yeah.
when so maybe you can tell us. Obviously, not only do you have to have expert rollers, right? The people who are actually making them.
Yes.
Because that's part of the construction that matters. But then, of course, then you have the people all the way from the growing, the harvesting, right? The
Yeah.
drying, like,
Yeah.
the whole process.
It truly is an art form. Cigars really is an art form because it takes very skilled artists to make a great product.
Right.
Obviously, it starts with seeds and your tobacco and the flavor you're getting, and then you're going to blend it. You got to have a good blender, to get to what you want. So you have to keep that in mind. That in our industry right now, for example, we have a lot of back orders. There's a lot of product that's just not available. Okay, it takes time. It takes time. With any art, it takes time. You can't just turn on a machine and make 500,000 more units. It doesn't work that way.
Well, I'll tell you, you said this was limited edition. I can see
Yeah.
why. Normally when you have that white wrapper, it's on the limited edition side, right? It's a special cigar,
Yeah.
but you often think it's going to be light. And this is not that. This is a flavorful cigar.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have a little. What are we drinking here?
Well,
I have
when
a
you
little
told me
liquor.
about your cigar, I
Yeah.
checked around. Then we are going with tonight. I figured we'd try a bourbon rye by Knobs Creek.
Well, listen,
All
I
right.
thought-
7-year-old straight Kentucky bourbon, aged. It's got a sweetness to it.
I thought I was going to be the
So-
sweetest thing here, but apparently we are not. That was not correct, and that's okay.
This should go well, gentlemen.
Chin chin, cheers.
Here we go. St. John, good luck. That's nice. Very well balanced.
Very subtle. There's a little sweetness to it.
Can I use the
But
term
it's-
meaty? It almost is. It's full.
vanilla, caramel.
And you kind of
In
get it
there.
on the back end.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
aftertaste is very pleasant.
Yeah.
It like goes down slow. It like fades
Right.
slowly down. And with this cigar and everything, the taste is exquisite.
It's a good, cheers to you, salute to you, because this is normally something like this you would think, again, this type of cigar, thinking lighter, it might overpower it. This is a nice
Very nice.
combination.
Very
The butter
nice,
and
yeah.
the butter, yeah.
Well,
it's-
that's one whole concept of smoking a cigar with the.
It's pairing.
You got it.
What people don't understand though about cigars and pairing, much different than food pairing, wine pairing. When you want to match flavors. So whatever flavors in the cigar, you want to match that. In your
right.
because it
Oh, yeah.
enhances.
Right,
It
right.
enhances. When you do wine with a meal, for example,
Fish,
white with
white.
pasta, white
Yeah.
with fish, red with steak, trying to find that right combination.
Right,
It's an enhancement of a different level.
right.
So that being said, whenever you're pairing any kind of liquor with a cigar, try to stick into the same, same
I kind of like when I do mine.
realm.
Right.
Marie and I, we will either do but we would do a scotch.
Okay.
And we found that the sherry casts of scotches we have tried go fantastic. Either Highland or the
Right.
Lowland sherry casts. They always have a sweet taste to it. Johnny Walker Gold
Yeah.
Reserve.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Very nice.
Hint of vanilla in there.
Yeah.
I remember when they just brought that out. They brought the Walker Gold out to bring the women to start drinking more scotch. They did that. Sales shot up 45%.
I don't think I've had that.
It's excellent.
Is it really? Okay.
You could sip that all
I've
day,
had
drink it, and
Black,
Oh.
blue, red. I've had all that. I have not had that one. I'll have to check it out.
Along the same lines
Yeah.
with Johnny Walker, and we'll say this is a very actually great value actually out there, is on the high side is their high rye. Thinner. I will
Okay.
say thinner than this. As I mentioned, it was with the Snob Creek's a little medium heavier. It's a fuller.
that would have a
fuller.
more of a peaty taste to it.
No,
Slight?
Well, slightly, but it's also thinner. It goes easier. It,
Yeah,
it
it's
gets off
lighter.
your palate, jumps
Yeah,
off your palate
it's
faster.
light.
Right.
It's light. We had one a couple weeks ago. It was I had to order it out of the UK. It was Johnny Walker Sherry Cast. You can't get it here, and that's killing me. It's killing him and
Right.
our crew of guys and everything. And it's like I have tried the McKellen. We have tried.
Yeah.
I don't know how many Sherry Cast of scotches, but that I must say, Johnny Walker nailed it. That is a touchdown, a home run.
See, I'm more of a tequila drinker.
No,
I'm with you.
very
So
good.
That's
Hey.
where I
Yeah.
tend to go. All right. You brought me that great tequila you brought back from Mexico, Cavo de Oro. I think?
De Oro,
De Oro?
yes.
Oh my God.
So-
This thing was like water.
See,
Oh, it was delicious.
I like a mezcal. Actually, I have a mezcal over there.
Oh, really? Oh,
It's
Very
a
good. That's
Casamigos.
very good.
Very nice.
Right.
Very nice. It's got a flavor, So I mean, you know how it is with tequilas, and most people if you go, you think of just Cuervo when you're just getting the gold, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you
yeah,
go
I
over everything
can.
from Blanco
Yeah.
all the way to a not a reposado, but and I apologize, but there's 5 levels.
We
within
got
the tequilas.
Añejo, Reposado, Blanco. I'm drawing a blank on the
Yeah,
name.
yeah, but basically it goes from very light to very dark.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the thing most people don't know. You can get a very dark tequila with a nice heavy flavor to it.
Yeah, yeah. To me, I like a nice sipping tequila.
Mm-hmm.
I like 1 ice cube. If you can do the sphere, oh, that's perfect,
Yeah.
But that one was just fantastic. It was so smooth. I think it was almost a honey base.
Really?
Right? I think it was.
I have
right?
another one I had. It's organic tequila. It's the very
Okay.
bottom, the bottom of it.
All right.
It's more like a creamy liqueur,
Oh, okay.
but it sneaks up on you.
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
does.
I mean,
well, usually when I get to the bottom of the barrel, it's,
yeah, you usually.
Yeah, I'm not worried about.
We're all
snuck
there.
me.
There's a lot of things sneaking up on me at that point because it's whatever.
I mean, you could actually put this when you're having your morning coffee
Yeah.
in your coffee. That's how good it was. Oh my
like
god!
the Clase Azul is really
Very
good.
nice.
And it's everywhere now.
Right.
Like all of a sudden, it like burst on
It
the
is
scene.
everywhere.
And I had never even heard of it, and I saw the bottle, and I said, I don't even know what it is. I said, bartender, whatever that is, give me one of them. We drank it. We were at a golf course, and went and asked, and I didn't, got the bill, we paid it, I didn't look at it. It was like 5 of us.
Probably good till you left.
So then I remember like a couple days later, I'm telling my wife, this is the best tequila, you gotta have this. And we were at a restaurant that had it, and I said, give me a shot of that, pour it in a rocks glass with 1 ice cube, please. So, loved it. I got the bill just for that little shot was like $30.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh my God, crime in Italy.
Typically, they're ranging around 120, 150
exactly.
for a bottle.
It's
a significant.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some decent. That is definitely up there. I mean, there's some good ones up there. Casa Dragones, even your Espolón is a decent one. There's a lot of in that kind of like hey.
When
you
you
can
guys
attest to
do
this. We're
the
going to go into this for a minute, though.
Okay,
We're going to go
problem.
into this because there's some things we're talking about here about the value side of it. But we're going to take a quick break because clearly we got to pay our bills here. Gurkha may or may not be one of them, but stay with us, folks. We're going to be back in a minute.
It takes something special to dive into the unknown. To face the unpredictable and unlock the mysteries that await beyond. Something tough, reliable, to fuel your confidence where elements seem to conspire to blur your senses. An unwavering ally, relentlessly field-tested by the pioneers who ventured there before. It was constantly perfected over time for those who push their limits always further and shine an ever-new light on our world. The Submariner.
Welcome back, folks, to Ash. Again, new show on RVN TV. Today we're filming, not always going to be here, we hope so though, at Main Street Cigar Lounge in Bedford, New Jersey. As you can tell from our background, this is in studio, this is not CGI. This is actually what it looks like. Wonderful location, so make sure you check that out online if you're interested in finding a solid cigar lounge, great environment, great company, as you can see, great environment for sure. And we're just absolutely enjoying our time being here. But while we're off camera for that moment, we were of course still enjoying our cigars. Some of you may already know this, but John here gave us an idea or some knowledge about something called a retrohale.
Retrohale, yeah.
Retrohale. Tell us about that.
So you're gonna puff a little bit, and you're gonna exhale through your nose. Not a lot, just a little bit, just to get. This is the best way to pick up all the little nuances of the flavor. All right. So we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna take a little sip of our Knob Creek here.
All righty.
Let's see. Very nice. You get that taste of you get that grade of tobacco taste, which is good.
Even when you're inhaling the aroma. right?
Oh,
The bouquet.
yeah.
From this.
Yep.
Right there.
Because when you're doing the inhale, it's going on the top of your mouth
Yeah.
and through your nose. So when you're tasting the liquor, it's going right through and they're combining perfectly, very balanced.
Folks, don't let Chris's good looks deceive you. He is a genius, actually, over here. This man is a chemist, so former chemist. So he knows what he's talking about. Don't be deceived by all the Hollywood looks. This man knows. We have a line of people. I'm the only one that doesn't know. I just enjoy cigars. But yeah, no, that's.
But
that's
you're the better looking guy
Yeah,
of all
I
three
don't
of
know
us.
about that. We're gonna have a debate off camera. What I do know is this is again still a phenomenal cigar. It's a limited edition, but you know one thing to make note. And we mentioned this earlier. You can buy your Clase Azul. You can buy your high-end liquors at $100+, but it's not necessary to find the deals, to really find good opportunities within that mid-range. Let's say your $30, $40 bottles. That would also be the case with cigars. Would you agree?
Yeah. You know, I think we always think high price means higher quality.
That's right.
Right?
Right. That's the right.
Yeah,
And
I'm going to say that's the myth.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the myth.
Right.
But
It's a myth.
I think it's in a way we're brought up in one aspect.
Yes. Sure.
Oh, this is the best.
If it's that expensive, it's got to be the best.
Especially-
totally wrong.
Right, exactly.
Especially
Cuban
you walk in-
cigars.
right? That's
You know.
because of the commodity aspect, right? The rarity aspect,
Yes.
not necessarily the flavor, though they are fantastic,
right.
but not necessarily the flavor, but because of the rarity of it, right?
Yeah.
So you walk into a
And
cigar
the
shop.
marketing helps a little bit with
It
that.
does,
too.
yeah,
It hypes
absolutely.
it up.
That's right. That's right. You walk into a cigar shop, and you know you walk in. If you don't, a lot of us, especially let's say, it's mostly men who go into cigar stores. Mostly, more so women these days, and that's fantastic.
But believe it or not, the women population is
increasing. No,
Increasing,
absolutely,
yes.
absolutely. But my point in that is that as men, what do we do when you walk into a place and someone's just going to help you? I'm good. I'm just looking, right? But what do? So you think I don't want to look like I don't know what I'm doing. So you go over and what do? Let me grab the most expensive stick because that one's going to be the best. You take it, you get it home, you smoke it, and you're like, this thing stinks. It's too peppery. It's too heavy. It's too this. It's too that. I had the same experience with like an Opus X, for instance. I have an Opus X. I don't really like them. They're too peppery, way too peppery for me. Now, people might like it, that's fine. But so the opportunities in that, you know.
Yeah,
that's-
listen, there's a lot of great cigars that are under $5. Our national average right now is 8 to 12.
Okay.
That's national average. Okay. This cigar, for example, this costs retails between $13 to $15. All right. Now, bundles. All right, you can buy a bundled cigar, but
Right.
now, what people have to understand about bundled cigars, why are they so inexpensive? Because 99% of bundled cigars are what's called mixed fill. All right, so the tobacco inside of it
Your bands.
is short fill, which is like the scraps, with maybe one long fill piece, or you might hear the term Cuban
Gotta find
sandwich. So that means it's long fill with short fill.
You're making me hungry now.
Okay. Oh, I can go for a nice
Cuban
Cuban sandwich. We're talking food now. This show is going to go on a whole different rail if we start talking food.
That's right. We might have sandwich to sandwich
Yeah, yeah.
coming on as the next episode.
So that idea that a bundle cigar is not as no, absolutely not. There's some great bundle cigars out there, you know.
got to work it.
But but let's face it, the fun of smoking is try everything. Just try everything.
Well, like we were saying, okay, as like with liquor and cigars, you don't have to get them. I have tried some scotches, 21-year-old, 25-year-old. Guess what? I wasn't impressed. I like it between 12 and 18, right there. To
That's
me,
what she said.
Yeah.
I had to do it. I had to do it. Come on, come on. I had to do it.
She looked 21. Okay. But like I remember my first cigar. I was 22 years old, and you might have heard the company. It was called a Caribbean Round. You got at that time it was $35.
Yeah,
You got 50 cigars.
Wow.
And they had the Maduro, and they had the kit. That's it. To me, it was one of the. It was like maybe $3-4 a cigar at that time. They were fantastic.
Right.
I would hand one this. Where'd you get that? Caribbean Round. Oh my God! But you're talking here, a cigar that's like $3 at that time. Nothing, and then we can go up to a Patron.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, Patron.
40, 50,
Yeah.
or a Cuban.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a couple Cubans in my past that I don't like. Okay.
Well, you know, it's interesting you say that, and John, you can talk about this.
Yeah.
Because my understanding
Wait a
is
minute. I
that
may have the Cuban police coming after me for saying that.
it's possible.
so,
This might be a Seinfeld.
let's just be
episode.
careful.
This could be a Seinfeld episode.
Yeah,
so watch
hurry
out.
up.
Watch out. You got Cubans. But the reality is, when Cuba, everyone was leaving, right? You had a lot of the intellectual capital within the cigar community who also left, right?
Yeah.
The rollers, the
They
people with the
got-
knowledge.
Either left or got forced out.
So some of that translate, over to
Yeah.
the
It
companies
is-
that are outside.
And
right?
as the years have gone on, you've gotten, our cigar boom, for example. Everyone talks about the boom. That was around 96 to 2000. That's when the cigar boom happened. And what happened was Cigar Aficionado came out, and it became an in thing to smoke cigars. But the problem was none of the manufacturers were ready. Can't forecast that, right? No one knew it was going to come.
It's a commodity at that
So
point.
all of a sudden, everyone just wants to smoke cigars. Well, nobody had cigars ready. So what happened was you had all these guys flying down to the Dominican, flying down. Really, Dominican was the number
Was the
one
spot, right.
at that time.
Right.
Now it's the second. Nicaragua is now the number one.
Number one.
Yes. Flying down to the DR and opening up a factory. It was like a little room with 2 or 3 rollers, and they would buy tobacco anywhere they can get it.
Gotcha.
So there was a lot of just inferior tobacco at that time. Okay. Then the major companies finally caught up, got their shelf space back because they're producing good quality cigars and pushing all these little guys out.
When you got into that saying of the good quality cigars,
Yeah.
and I'm going to take Gurkha, as you know, is one of my favorite cigars. I have tried almost every one of their blends. I love the cellular line.
The Cellar line and the Seduction. You love the
Seduction.
Yeah.
I was addicted to those.
Yeah, you are.
You were
What
seduced
I
by the seduction.
Yeah,
oh, it
he
was
I'll
don't ask.
score you some. Next time I'm down
we got
at the
more
office,
coming, folks. We have
next
more of
time-
this.
Don't
next
make
time I'm at the
promises,
office,
please.
I'm going to grab a couple for you, all right?
What I found going to lounges that I think it's a little unfair in the way they treat Gurkha out. I find that to myself. I said,
right.
well, why? This isn't. You're being unfair. I have tried the
Yeah.
line.
So when Gurkha started, we're 35 years now. We were really the first super premium cigar. Because cigars at that time, we're talking 1987, 1988.
88.
Most of the cigars were right around $5, $6.
right.
Well, my owner, who bought the company for $149.
Holy smokes.
You take a check.
He bought the company for $149.
Wow.
That's a true story.
Wow.
Okay. And he brought it to the States, and he said, I'm going to make a premium cigar. Well, we were selling it $20. Like, oh, $20? What the hell? What's this made of? You know?
Right.
But that's how, we started in that premium, circle. Sure. And then as the boom hit, tobacco prices went up. The growers raised their prices. So companies buying their tobacco had to raise their prices went up, as in everything.
Right.
Nothing ever goes down.
No, not
Prices never go
not
down.
with the way
I've
inflation's
never
looking
seen-
anyway. That's right.
I've never
With
seen-
inflation, you're not seeing
I've never
that.
seen a price go
No,
down.
but that's smart marketing, though. I mean, look,
Yeah.
you bring your prices up because what happens to the consumer when your prices are up at that level? But you have to have one thing that backs that up first. You have to have quality,
Quality.
right? You have to have quality
Gotta have
on the
quality.
back end of the quality. But if you raise the prices, people pay attention to it. You get a base.
Yeah.
You have fans, right? They understand they're paying for it, but they also expect the quality.
Right.
You can only go so far. You put a crap product out
Yeah.
with nothing to back, and you're just charging high rate. People will come on to that, and they'll understand and say, this
Listen.
is not good.
Padron is the perfect example of that because they have their 1000 series.
Right.
which is what, $6-7.
Right.
Then they have their Anniversario, and the Anniversario was the first to go into that almost $20, you know, in that super premium Davidoff white.
Right. Right.
Opus. When Opus came out in 1996, 1995, 96,
Yep.
you know, everyone thinks that Opus is this expensive cigar. No. It sold in the mid-teens. It was a $12, $13, $14
And
cigar.
we're going back to like
know?
19.
So that's 96, 97.
Seven.
It's, you know, this conception, but the problem was with Opus was that people heard about it and ran out to stores and wanted to get it.
It was the Wall Street cigar.
Right.
That was the problem.
Right? Couldn't get it.
Okay.
Couldn't
Couldn't
get
get it. You know? So that idea, you know, started kind of then, and it progressed.
You know, that's
yeah. I'm sorry.
That's
Go
great.
on,
No,
go on,
that's right. But you know, hold that for a second
No, no
because again,
problem.
we're going to take another quick break. But when we come back, we're going to go down this path a little bit, a little stroll down memory lane, if you will. So make sure you stay with us. We're going to be right back.
I think that clients really enjoy the ability to come to one place and talk about their taxes or their financial statements, to deal with their money management, to deal with litigation or divorce issues when they happen, and they happen a lot. I think the more of the breadth that we're allowed to encompass in that arena, I think just gives our clients that much more comfort that they can go one place and share their lives. I mean, especially in today with all the, you know, identity theft and everything else, you're only having to share it at one place. And everybody in that place you can rely on and trust, and they're going to do the things that you need them to do.
Creator of Knob Creek Bourbon, Booker Noe once said, "If you're not completely satisfied with the big, full flavor of our bourbon, just send back the unused portion, and we'll drink it for you." Knob Creek, aged 9 years for big, full flavor. The way bourbon was meant to be.
Welcome back, folks. Ash to Ash. We have a new show on RVN TV. I'm hoping you're enjoying it as much as we are here. Once again, we're at the Main Street Cigar Lounge, Medford, New Jersey. Make sure you check us out online. But speaking of online, while we were off, we had one of our viewers here on Instagram, actually, Mary from Maryland, actually shooting us a trivia question. We were talking about women, cigars, etc. There was a movie in 1997 that featured A woman who smoked a cigar. So we're going to see if our panel here, esteemed gentlemen, knows what movie that is. So what do you guys think?
97.
97.
97.
And a woman is smoking a cigar. All right. Oh, man.
In a movie.
I might need a little bit more than that.
In a movie, correct?
Yes.
In a movie.
I will say, I'll give you this hint. It wasn't in a, it was in a very forceful or stern way, I suppose, might be the best way to put it.
Okay.
So it's not a comedy. It's an action
No.
packed drama.
Not a comedy. Definitely an action drama, for sure. That's all I'm going to give you. You got a guess?
You got,
That's what you're giving?
Ding, ding,
That's what
ding,
you're
ding,
giving?
ding,
Oh,
ding,
man.
ding.
Can I call a friend?
All right,
Give me a second. 1 second here. 97.
Female, was she the lead?
yes.
G.I. Jane.
Yes.
Bingo.
Bam!
Good, John.
Mary from Maryland, there
Very
you go.
good.
You could not stump
There you go.
the expert.
Good one.
He got it.
Salute.
G.I. Jane, salute.
There you go. All
Salute.
right.
So we're talking
To
about
Mary?
To Mary.
This is for you.
Excellent.
So we're talking about memory lane again. I want to go back here, and I remember we were talking before the break about that time. I remember the Dunhills back in that day. We were talking about a smooth cigar.
One of the
Dunhill.
first cigars I ever smoked.
Oh, my goodness.
Yep.
But you were talking about back in the cigar lounge. You had guys.
Yeah,
tell us that story.
There's a place in Limerick. Okay, I won't give you the name. But I was there for about 12 years. We were about 12 years, John.
Yeah, that's where I
That's
met-
where I
yeah,
met
yeah, that's where I
John,
met
and we're
Chris.
going back another
Yeah.
12. 24 years. I know you for
Been a
24
long-
years.
been a long
God. You're in the will. Don't worry.
These guys were smoking cigars in the crib, apparently. It's like the Bugs Bunny show.
I came out smoking it.
I would go into the humidor and I see these young guys, 18, 21, lost. And I would ask them, would you like some help? Yeah, we want to start smoking cigars. And I go, first of all, educate yourself. Yeah. Okay? I would say, this isn't cigarettes. Okay? This is, to me, cigar smoking is an art. From the beginning of the cut of the cutter you use, the cigar, how you light it, this all goes into one big pot, and not counting the gentleman you are smoking with.
Yeah.
And I'd say, if you find a lounge, go to a couple lounges, feel them out where you feel comfortable. Because I can say that we have walked in some lounges. We got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Okay, so but besides all that, educate yourself on what you want to smoke. Learn about the tobacco. Go to YouTube. See what the guys are doing. See if there's a special cigar you want to try. But if it was me, you want to start, I would go with a Connecticut. Something light, and then slowly find where your niche is.
Where you hit it on the head is that the education, right? In today's world, you're really doing yourself a disservice because of what you have available just in the palms of our hand with finding out information, YouTube, et cetera, right? But
Yeah.
one thing I will say, and I think, John, you definitely agree with this, utilize your local tobacco shops, right?
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
look, you can buy anything online these just about anything.
Buy local.
But what you can't buy is the experience, right? You can't buy that online.
This
So-
is a sense of community, the camaraderie
There you go.
that you get
There it is.
with this. Because let's face it, as guys, where do we hang out? Bars. Some guys hang out at a barber shop. Cigar bars, cigar lounges.
Well, the
right?
barber
We're-
shops
we're not-
used to be the cigar places in the old days.
Yeah.
The barber would give you a shave, and so would you like a cigar full of foam and everything. He would go into the masonry jar, pull
Yeah.
the cigar out, sit there, the barber would light it for him.
Yeah.
And then it would start, all the guys would start there. And a real quick story is that going back in those days, one barber wanted to get more customers to come to his barber shop. So he started taking his cigars and putting liquor on the bottom of them and getting them infused with whiskey, scotch, whatever they
Right,
had.
right.
And then I'm going to get my shave over here. Whoa, his cigars are fantastic. And it just is like a momentum going up.
Speaking about camaraderie, why don't you tell them about the cruise when we would go to the cigar lounge at night? What would happen on the cruise ship?
Marie and I, we
This
took
was phenomenal.
We took a 12-day cruise. Loved it. We got to do another one very soon.
absolutely.
Okay.
This was so much fun.
We were at, was it Norwegian or Rome or
I think it was Norwegian.
Norwegian? They had an a beautiful indoor lounge with a humidor. They had 2 outdoor areas. Murray and I we started, me and him, it finished up at 50 guys. Okay, it got to
You
the
guys are
point-
known to attract a crowd, so that is true.
I can see it.
Absolutely.
It was so much fun.
We were having such a great time, but guys, we're walking, and the daytime, you're gonna be there tonight, 10 o'clock.
It was so
15,
so
20
much fun.
guys would stop us. Then when we're smoking outside, then we have Mr. Mike,
Oh yeah.
Mike,
yeah.
Mike Post from the Letterman. What are you guys doing? We didn't, he had the hat. We had no idea who he was the way he had his glasses on. And he goes, I'm like, wait a minute.
Mark Preston.
Preston?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Murray's Letterman? Yes, I'm the entertainment here. So there was the 3 of us smoking cigars. Then Joe, what's his name? We need an Italian president. He came.
Oh, Mike Marino.
Mike Marino comes.
Mike
Then the
Marino.
other entertainers. Now we got like 10 guys around the table, and it's getting loud outside.
Fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Well,
That's the thing with cigars.
Yeah.
Listen, let's face it. It does bring people together.
I can say that I can attest to that being here at this lounge.
Right,
As a
yeah,
for instance,
exactly.
you know, in the lounges I've been to, same thing. You know, it's a place where you're hanging out, and I will say what's interesting as you know, as a man, right? You get to a certain age and you don't, you know, bars only are.
Exactly.
It's too much. You know, they're just I don't know how else to say it. It's just too much.
Yeah.
You want to watch a game. You want to sit around with guys that are like-minded, hang out, have a cigar, relax. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Right?
This is like, I would say, go on, I'm sorry.
No.
Okay.
No.
To me, a cigar is like you're climbing a mountain and there's a small plateau to rest. It's like a zen.
Yeah.
There were some times I used to go to a resort. I had a timeshare there with my relatives. Went there for 12 years. I started just me and my wife. I would get up at 6 in the morning, get a cigar, go out to the beach, sit, light up, and I have to admit, I'd be smoking. It was quiet. The sun's come. Euphoria popped in. That was the first year. Second year we go, same room. It's our timeshare. So, guy goes, "What do you do? I see you get up early." I go, "Well, I smoke my cigars." I go, "Well, can I come?"
Yeah.
After 5 years, I had 10 guys. You're ready at 6 in the morning, going out to the beach. We would sit. It was like all sitting, light up, and then we would talk about personal stuff.
I do enjoy that nice morning smoke
Yes.
too.
What's great about that, and I will say this, I often say, you know, if you're new to it, but a Connecticut, I often term as the breakfast cigar,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Because it's
absolutely.
lighter on the palate,
Yep.
the whole 9 yards. So when you start your day having that
Yeah,
Connecticut,
I start with
is-
something on a little bit of the milder side.
Right.
As I go through my day, I'm kind of building up in
Exactly.
flavor profile.
Yeah.
So by the end of the night, my last cigar is usually going to be something a little bit more fuller body.
Right.
A little, a little more pepper, a little more spice, because then I'm drinking with it. It's
a little more your
but
dessert
in
at
the
that
morning,
point.
in the
Yeah.
morning, it's I love it in the
Now,
morning.
You know what?
I
I
would
wanna
have a
make-
coffee cigar, like a Java
Yeah.
or a Java Mint
Yeah.
in the morning, and it's like, get your coffee, get your cigar.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
But
You're
now,
there.
here's the thing. All right, folks. So sometimes, maybe in the morning, you had a cigar, right? And all of a sudden, you got to be somewhere. Maybe you got to be out with the family, right? So, that becomes because listen, as much as we love cigars, it can carry as much as the ventilation is great in here. Right. And I love to even smoke out back. They have a beautiful outdoor lounge here as well. Outside, we love it, like smoking on the beach. You still are going to have some of that lingering, whether it be on you or obviously in your mouth. I see you have some things on the table here.
Yes.
Maybe, and again, I alluded to the fact, or maybe I just said it straight out, that my man here is a chemist. He has designed something that is phenomenal. Actually, he and Murray, I don't want to take that away. They talk about it for a second. We'd love to hear about that.
Okay, this is our product. It's called Breath of Gold. This is a mouth rinse that was strictly designed for smokers. What this does is, after you finish your beautiful cigar in the moment, you would spray this 5 times in your mouth, swish it around, 30 seconds, spit it out. It removes all the nicotine and tobacco resin from your mouth, teeth, and gums. It's like a power washer.
I've used it. It's
Tastes
wonderful.
like peppermint.
Yeah.
And it doesn't taste medicine. It will mellow down, and in the morning, you don't have no after cigar breath.
That's right. Now, that's great if you can get close enough to your significant other to actually maybe get close enough and say, your breath seems rather fresh, but what do you have to deal with before you even get there?
Well, then
On the clothes, right?
there you go. We're doing so well with the Breath of Gold. People, when we go to the event selling, I'll let Murray do this one. This is our Smoke Away.
This is my baby. This is my baby. And Joe, you're absolutely right. When you smoke, the smoke gets trapped in the clothing. This product here called Smoke Away, you spray it on your clothing. Oh my God. It smells just like fresh linen.
Linen, yeah.
And it doesn't disguise the smoke. It removes it.
Neutralizes.
Molecular, it
Yes.
works on the molecular level.
Yeah.
When we had this done, which is a little different than like you have the Febreze and other stuff. You can put this in your car. It go like this. Your hair,
Right.
your hands. Won't stain leather. Nothing.
Fantastic. And where can you, obviously you can get it, I believe, your website, correct? Breath
Yes.
of Gold.
If you want to get the Breath of Gold right now, you can go to Amazon.
We're on Amazon
Breath
as
of
well.
Gold
so-
removes tobacco. The Smoke Away will be on our website very soon, probably by this week, because it's the new product we're coming out with.
Great.
This product is so, you could take 2 ounces of this, put it in your wash, and your clothes are going to smell fantastic.
That's
Fresh
amazing.
linen.
Fresh
That's great.
linen.
It's phenomenal. Yeah.
This was strictly designed for smoke damage in houses after a fire.
Wow, okay.
Okay, in Europe, because the houses are all connected. So
Right.
you have a fire here in one house in the center, and then the smoke would travel. So what they did was the company came out with this. Okay, they would spray your clothes, the whole house with it. No more smoke smell.
Right.
We had it modified. The company did it for us. We have had great success with it
That's
so
amazing.
far.
They love it.
So listen, folks, make sure you, before we wrap up here for our inaugural show, make sure you check that out, right? breathofgold.com. .net, excuse me.
Breathofgold.net.
Breathofgold.net, or like I said, Amazon, or like they said, at Amazon as well. So make sure you check that out. So that is an excellent product. But John, before we leave, and you are the expert, obviously, on Gurkha and cigars in general, give the viewers maybe a couple recommendations right now. You mentioned the Connecticut, so maybe in the 3 categories that you might typically, right? Connecticut, Maduro on the other end.
Yeah,
and
you could, most people go mild, medium, full body.
Right.
Okay. So, we at Gurkha, we have a little bit of something for everyone. You can go into our Cellar Reserve line. We have the 12-year, which is a Nicaraguan blend. That's going to be the
Excellent.
most full body. Then you got the 15-year and the 15-year Limitada, which is our Maduro. All right. With that Maduro, you're going to get a lot of cocoa. You're going to get a lot of richness, great smoke. Get a little bit of sweetness. Maduro naturally is a little bit
Right.
sweeter. Okay, more oil, more sugar in a Maduro, so you're going to get a little sweeter. We have the 18-year, which is a little bit more earthy and a little more woody, and then the 21-year. That's a nice creamy vanilla, real
My
smooth.
favorite.
Okay,
That's my favorite one.
so we have the Cellar Reserve. Then we also have the Ghost,
Okay.
which Ghost has been around for
Right.
many years. So the Ghost Maduro, beautiful Brazilian Arapica wrapper, gives it a lot of body, a lot of richness. We just came out with a Ghost Connecticut. So if you want something a little smoother, all right, it's going to tone it down a little bit. That's a great first cigar of the day too. Good morning smoke. So we got a lot.
There's obviously a line. If you're not familiar with Gurkha already, make sure you check them out. They have a wonderful line. Go to your local tobacco shop, your local cigar store. Ask them. Tell them what you eat, what you typically drink, what you like. Maybe in comparison to wines, if you like a heavier wine, you might want a heavier cigar. But they'll match you. Any good tobacco store, cigar stores worth their salt will be able to give you some solid recommendations and be your guide in that space. Because again, you want the experience to be enjoyable, and you want it to be something that you like you said, you can get around your friends, that you're having a good time, and obviously that's going to help. So, folks, listen, that's the end of our first show. It's my privilege to be here as the guest host. I want to thank, obviously, Chris and Murray for being here and giving us their knowledge in the space, talking about their product. And of course, John with Gurkha.
Thank you.
I mean, this is fantastic.
John's the man.
John's the man. He's the man.
You may see him here again because, again, this kind of knowledge and experience, and frankly, if he brings these cigars, I know I'll be one of the guest hosts again. So just want to say thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here
Thank you.
today.
Had a great time.
Folks, remember,
Great
Ash
time.
to Ash.
Thank you.
Tune in on RVN. It's, again, my pleasure to be here today, and we hope to see you next time.